Hey friends, my name is Sean also Brooks, and I want to talk to you about the number one question I get about Virgin Voyages is the food. What is the food like? What should I expect? What makes it different? So I want to dive into that. I want to just give you a heads up, a warning ahead of time. This will be a deep dive. I have menus to go through. I have photos. I have my personal takes at each of the restaurants. Just a reminder before we dig in, my company is called Relay Travel. I only sell Virgin cruises, and you can go to relaytravel.com. If you want to book or if you have questions, you can reach out to me from there. I would love to chat with you. I'm super stoked on Virgin. I'm not a travel advisor. I mean, I am now, but I'm really not. I became one because I went on Virgin and I freaking loved it. It blew my mind and I wanted to share it with my friends. So let's do a deep dive into the food, what you can expect to eat dining wise on Virgin Voyages. All right, first up, let's talk about what it's like on a traditional cruise. If you've been on a cruise, you kind of know maybe how this feels, but if you haven't, let me just tell you what to expect, right? Usually for breakfast and breakfast and lunch, you'll be eating at something like this. It's a buffet, and it's not necessarily bad. There's some good options. There's lots of options. That's one of the best things about it. You can see you got tons of things to eat and choose from. Lots of different, styles of food, salads, all kinds of stuff, which is kind of nice. And it's great for kids, right? You kind of find what you like, you pile it on your plate, then you go find a seat and you eat. That's lunch and breakfast, typically on a cruise ship. The problem is it usually looks more like this, especially at peak times. If you go, the main part of breakfast or the main part of lunch, you're going to experience something like this, where it's just jammed up. There's long lines. It's hard to find a table. It just feels like you're more at the old country buffet. Like you're trying to have this luxury, elevated experience, and it feels like you're waiting in line at an amusement park. It just kind of kills the whole vibe. And this, again, is breakfast and lunch almost every single day. Unfortunately, dinner is a little bit different. You sit down at a really nice table in a really nice dining room. Usually a cruise ship will have 2 or 3 dining rooms. The big ones maybe even have 4, but it looks something like this. You are seated at a table, you and your significant other or your group. If you have a large group, you kind of get your own table, which is nice. But if you don't, you're put at a table with other strangers. So sometimes that's fun and interesting. Sometimes it's not, but it kind of just feels like this. You make friends, you chat, you don't really get to have this intimate experience with just your significant other, your wife, your husband. You're kind of thrown into this group and you sit at the same table every night and you have the same waiters every night, and the menu changes every night, so you get to choose different things. But that's pretty much, if you go on Carnival or Royal Caribbean, this is sort of your experience. The buffet and the dining room at night for dinner. So one of the main differences about Virgin is that there are no dining rooms like this. You don't sit with strangers. You don't eat at buffets. There's no buffets where you grab a plate and pile on your plate. And they have restaurants, like adults eat at restaurants, like really bougie, nice restaurants, and they're all included. Sometimes other cruise lines will have restaurants, but they're never included. Sometimes they're $50, $75, $100, depending on the restaurant, extra just to have dinner. Virgin doesn't play games like that. That's one of the things I love. They just treat adults like adults. Everything is included. So let's dig in. Let's start with the first restaurant called Razzle Dazzle. All right, Razzle Dazzle. It's a really, really great option. It's a fun, sort of funky, modern place, and it's named after the ship pattern. Razzle Dazzle was these sort of stripes during World War II that they paint on ships to kind of like make them hard to see. But anyway, it's a cool vibe. You can see here, they have great options. It's very, very good for brunch. They have an awesome brunch and breakfast, and they also have a really great dinner. And it kind of shifts modes. It becomes sort of this moodier thing at dinner. You can kind of see here where it's a little bit more moody at dinner. But they have this is a great spot for vegetarians. They have tons of great fresh items. Acai bowls for breakfast. They're famous for this bow tie pasta here, which is delicious. Great waffles. One of my favorite things I get is this chicken sandwich here. I love this thing right here. Love, love, love. So delicious. And one of the things they're really famous for, which is fun for brunch, is this coconut milk fairy toast. Oh, it's like French toast with sprinkles on top. Like, I don't know, how can you go wrong with that, right? So everything is fresh, everything is good. And again, you sit at your own table like an adult, and you get treated like an adult. And again, it's all included. This is Razzle Dazzle. This is a quick look at the menu. This is just a sample. It changes all the time, and it's much bigger than this. I just grabbed this off the Virgin website to kind of give you an idea of what they have. The rainbow churros, yes, please. Freaking amazing. What else did we love here? the bow tie pasta, which I had a picture of, and the fried chicken. Love, love, love. So lots of good options. Again, this is Razzle Dazzle. It's open for brunch and it's open for dinner. All right, next let's talk about one of the newer restaurants on the newest ship, Brilliant Lady. It's called Rojo, and Rojo is the Mediterranean, and it's very, very good. It's like a tapas restaurant. You can see just the vibe. One of the things I love about Virgin is just the attention to detail. You can see like it's nothing like a buffet. It's nothing just like this mass feeding system. It's a restaurant, and you sit down like an adult with your party, and you have an amazing meal. But you can tell just the attention to detail, like the aesthetics, like everything is just thought out. Everything is just very thoughtful. Just the textures. I mean, just look at that wall. You don't need to do that for a wall, but Virgin does it. It feels like you're on like a very bougie luxury yacht. This is the entryway into Rojo. Again, this food was awesome. One of the things we really loved here, or I loved, my wife loved the shrimp a lot. And they also, let me show you the menu here. They had couple things that I loved here. Oh, right here, the pork ribs, the baby back ribs were amazing. I'm gonna give this a thumbs up here because it was my favorite. That was so good. The cider braised chicken was amazing, and these potatoes right here, these fingerling potatoes were amazing. So one of the things my wife and I like to do is just try a lot. A lot of times people ask me, can you just get one thing? Can you get several things? You can get as much as you want. That's the thing about Virgin I really love is like, if you want to try everything, you can try everything. If you want, if you have a favorite and you just want more, you can just get more of the same. My wife and I get small plates where we just try lots of things for each of us, and we get to try a lot of the menu. So that's how we've sort of found our favorites. But this is Rojo, again, amazing tapas, Mediterranean. It's open for dinner, and I think you're gonna love it. Okay, next up is Pink Agave. This is Virgin's take on a luxury, high-end Mexican restaurant. One of the things I love about Pink Agave is as soon as you sit down, you get these awesome chips and guac. I mean, who could go wrong with chips and guac, right? But you can see here, everything's crafted so well, so delicious. This place has a really cool vibe. Let me show you the entryway here. This is when you're walking into it, this is where you walk and enter the restaurant. It's a little extra, but it's so freaking cool. Again, you just have this, it's like the whole experience. I can't tell you how different it feels, right? It feels like you're on a date night at a really bougie place. This is the bar. You can sit at the bar. This is some of the drinks. The margarita is really delicious there. The shrimp, the lobster. Again, you can kind of just see the attention to detail. Like everything's you just don't feel like you're on one of these mass cruise ships, right? You feel like you're on someone's yacht and they invited you over for dinner. One of the things I loved here, you can see I already marked it up. This steak is a ribeye, and it has, I don't know what this cheese is, and some of this, I'm not exactly sure what this sauce is, but it is divine. Maybe my favorite meal on the whole cruise ship. I freaking love this. The dessert, these little chocolate tacos with this peanut butter something inside, and you dip it in this, take me back. I'm ready to go back. It's so freaking good. And again, just at night, the lights get lower. It's got a really nice sort of intimate vibe to it. It just feels like a really good space to have a meal with your partner, by yourself, with friends, whatever you need. This place is awesome. Pink Agave, one of my favorites. Let's take a look at the menu here. One of the things, again, is this marinated steak. Where is the steak? Ribeye right here. This thing, let me mark it up for you here. This thing is divine. You can't, really, I'm telling you, don't miss this thing. It is awesome. There's so many other options here. Roasted chicken was amazing. Again, the guac, I love this. It's served with pomegranate seeds, which sounds a little weird, but it's actually freaking amazing. The grilled corn right here is amazing. So many good options. I think you're really gonna love Pink Agave. All right, next up is Extra Virgin. This is the Italian restaurant, and I think this is probably my wife's favorite. Sarah, she just loves this place. It's got a great vibe. It's really clean, modern aesthetic. Feels like you're in sort of this boutique, high-end restaurant in Italy. Just feels good and crisp, and I think you're gonna love it. We always start with this charcuterie board. Tons of great options here. Honey, crackers, several types of cheeses, salami, meats like that. The pasta, I remember one of my favorites is this carbonara pasta. They have this braised lamb, which I love. Here's one of the raviolis, which is amazing and delicious. And of course, the old fashioned, you got to have that. Dessert here is awesome. This thing is like, if I remember, it's like a kind of this chocolate dense cake with these pears, these spiced pears. and this vanilla ice cream, and it kind of sounds like, I don't know, do I want a spiced pear in my chocolate? This was one of my favorite desserts of the whole trip. I freaking love this. And then they have this special cart that you can just say, you know what, I'd like an affogato. And at the end, an affogato, they bring this espresso cart over. They give you a scoop of either vanilla ice cream or this whiskey cream ice cream. They pour hot espresso over the top, and you can top it with chocolate chips or biscotti, or I don't know, they got like 6 or 7 toppings. Again, all included. None of it is extra. You can have as much as you want. You can try anything you want. Let's take a look at the menu over here. Some of my favorites, again, is this gorgonzola crusted New York steak. One of the things I love is that every restaurant has their version of a nice, really fancy, decadent steak, and I love, this is one of my really, really favorites. The braised lamb is amazing. This is that cake I was talking about, the chocolate olive oil cake, red wine, poached pears, and candy Marcona almonds. Yes, please. You're going to love that for sure. So extra virgin, this is one of the places we go to twice on the cruise because it's just one of our favorites. Usually we'll get a table for one night, and then we'll go back towards the end of our trip and sit at the bar and just kind of chat with the bartender. It's good people watching. Just a really, really great spot. Okay, next up is Gunbae. This is Korean barbecue, and this is very distinct on Virgin. This is the only time where you will be seated with maybe possibly people you don't know, right? So you sit with a table of either 6 or 8, and the whole vibe here is really, you can kind of see, this is it in the daytime when it's empty, but the whole vibe is this sort of like barbecue cooking at your table, and very, very fun. The waiter will come and you play a lot of different like drinking games. You don't have to drink if you don't want, but it's just fun. It's like a very upbeat, sort of loud, energetic vibe sort of spot. And at night it gets loud and crazy. People are cheering and clapping, and it's a fun experience. It's a one that we like to do early on in our trip because you get to sit with a few people and get to meet some people. So you see them throughout the week. So it's a nice way to kind of make friends early on. But your waiter will cook this up for you. They have tons of good options, tons of like really specialty. This is this plate they bring of different veggies and pickled items. Again, they have this meat that they cook, the steak that they cook. This was one of my favorites. It's so delicious. I forgot what it's called, but it's chicken, and it is amazing. And then this dessert here blew my mind. I think it's like these little crepe things filled with fig, and you dip it in, this whipped cream here, and I thought I was gonna have just one bite of this, and I think I ate most of these. I think I had maybe all 4 of those. This is Gunbae. I think you're really gonna love it. It's a fun, different experience from the rest of the restaurants. So again, let's take a look at the menu here real quick. You order what you want. You don't have to share anything. One of the things I really loved here was, let me see, where is it? The short ribs right here. These short ribs were amazing. And there's one other thing I loved here. Oh, this is that chicken I was talking about, Forever Crispy Chicken. It is amazing. So they have also really good seafood options. The guy at our table got this seafood pancake and loved it. And then the dessert options, like I mentioned, are really, really good. They have this soft serve ice cream, and it's served with these like mini mochis and miso caramel. It's amazing. This is Gunbae, Korean barbecue. I think you're gonna love it. Okay, next up is Test Kitchen. This is an interesting option. It's not, I will just say this out from the get-go, it's not everyone's favorite because it's very, very experimental fine dining. So let me show you what this sort of feels like. Again, like everything on Virgin, it's a really cool aesthetic. It's just clean and crisp and modern. It just feels like someplace you want to be. But this is Michelin star chefs kind of doing fancy, fancy fine dining food. So you can see some of the stuff here. It's a very small portion, so you're not going to go here and like get really super filled up. But again, you can try everything, and the menu changes all the time. But it's experimental stuff you would see like on Top Chef. Just kind of different ways to kind of have, present dishes, different types of cuisine. A lot of times when people eat here, the joke is that, hey, go explore, have some of these small bites, but when you're done, head to the pizza place, right? Grab yourself a pizza afterwards. And again, if this isn't your vibe, you could just skip this. A lot of people just skip Test Kitchen. This is their take on some sort of mushroom something here. You can kind of see some of the stuff here. It's just like these small sort of experimental fine dining bites. Very fancy, very kind of niche in a way. So just sort of more exotic, I would say, is a way to say it. But again, it's not everyone's cup of tea. You don't feel pressure to eat here at all. A lot of people, like I said, they just skip it and they go somewhere else that they like better. But I would say just go give it a shot. Give it a try. I mean, these chefs are creative. They put a lot of talent into it. The menu changes. I'm going to show you the menu over here. It changes 3 times on the cruise. So they have like an A, B, and C menu. And it's really sort of vague in a sense. Corn, salmon, beetroot, shrimp, asparagus. You kind of don't know. Like this, they kind of give you this list of what you're going to get. You don't get to pick at Test Kitchen. It's just sort of served as is. But the way that these come out is always an interesting way to kind of experience the food. So again, that's Test Kitchen, experimental fine dining. I would recommend grabbing it for sure. Do not skip this. At least once, go and see if you like it, because you're going to get some unique things. And then if you're still hungry, go ahead, grab a pizza afterwards. Okay, next up is the Wake. And the Wake is one of my favorites. We try to go here once or twice. The Wake is open for brunch and it's open for dinner. And this is the steakhouse. You can kind of see the vibe here. It's just really sort of fancy and bougie, and it's called the Wake because it's at the very back of the ship, and you have this beautiful view of the wake of the ship at night as you're kind of like moving through the ocean. It's just really, really amazing. We always try to eat here twice, once for brunch, once for dinner. Sometimes you can even come in and sit at the bar and do dinner twice here. But man, the steaks are just amazing. It feels like you're at like a Ruth Chris or something, just these fancy sides. You can order, again, as much as you want. This garlic, I got the ribeye. They also have this, let me show you here. They have this giant, I don't know what you call this, T-bone steak. What do you call this? I forgot the name of this thing. Something bone steak that they cut at your table. What else do they have? Again, more of the vibe here. Again, just the attention to detail. Do you see how it feels different? Do you see how you're not sitting at a table or at a buffet, or, it just feels better. Again, another view of the inside here. I got a picture here I want to show you. Oh, this is, Sarah and I sat, I love this seat right here. Sarah and I sat here, and you can kind of see as you're kind of cruising at night, they light up the back of the water here. So it's like this beautiful visual that you're having this amazing meal as you look out. This right here is bone marrow. They serve it in this bone. And for me, it was one of my favorite things I have on this cruise. They have this really thick toast that it comes with, and you sort of just spoon it out. You put it on this toast, and it is, it's just delightful. It sounds maybe strange if you've not had it, but I promise you, it's amazing. They have this amazing bread. It's like this brioche bread that comes here. You just pop it out, throw on some butter. And then the top dessert, in my opinion, on the whole ship, is this Meyer lemon cheesecake. This is it right here. It's served as in the shape of a lemon, but it's this most delicate, beautiful cheesecake with these kind of cracker crumbs, this blackberry sauce. It's just, I would never think, I'm not even a huge cheesecake fan, so I would never think this would be my #1 dessert on the ship, but it is. It actually is. Sarah got it the first time we went. I sampled it, and I got it the next time because it was absolutely divine. So again, this is the Wake. It's one of our definitely favorites. Let me show you the menu here. Again, this is just a sample of some of the things I have. But this, what do I usually get here? Let me show you. Oh, the bone marrow right here. Amazing. Can't go wrong with that. And then any of these steaks are amazing. I usually get the New York strip. They also, again, have an awesome ribeye. And then here, right here, try this, the chocolate mousse for sure, but also the lemon. Again, they have more than this. This is just a sample, and you can get whatever you want. Just a reminder, you can get whatever you want. You can get multiples of everything you want. But the Wake is definitely one of our favorites. It's something you can't miss, something I really think that you're going to enjoy, and a restaurant that really is an example of how Virgin is just set apart. Okay, that's just a sample because there's so much more. Those are the main restaurants for like dinner and a few of them for brunch. But there are so much more. Actually, let me show you this. This is everywhere you can eat. Again, there's no buffets. So this is everywhere you can eat for lunch. A lot of these are like lunch only, or you can even go for dinner for some of these. But you can see here, there's tons of options, right? There's poke bowls, pastries, Japanese cuisine, the pizza place, the dock. I'm going to do another video on many of these. The dock is one of my all-time favorite places to hang out. Great, great little bites back there, just so good. The Diner and Dash is open 24 hours. They have paninis, they have noodle round, the sweet side, they have tacos. All this stuff is served to order. None of it is made before you order. You stand there, you tell them what you want. Sometimes it takes a minute or two because it's made fresh, and then you can go and you can just enjoy all of this stuff. The food is phenomenal. It is so distinct and so different from any other cruise line. Again, I'm not naturally a cruise travel person. I went on one cruise and I came back and I wanted to just tell my friends about this. So I became a Virgin advisor because I was so stunned. I was so impressed and so sort of in love in a sense of what this experience was. But you can see there's 20 eateries, 20 plus eateries. Michelin star. The stuff is like, it's not just food. It's not just serving masses. Honestly, I don't know how they do this so well, serve so many people at such a high level. And again, no buffets, no big dining halls, and late night. They also have 24-hour room service if you want, right? You can get that anytime you want. So tons of really, really, really great options here. Well, friends, thank you so much for going on the deep dive through the food in the restaurants on Virgin and why it's different. Again, my name is Sean Alsobrooks. You can book with me at Relay Travel. You can reach out to me from there. I have tons of really great options. One, Virgin has great deals all the time, but I have options that you can only get through me that I have through, it's called a first mate discount, right? I can get you some really, really great deals that stack on top of any of the options or deals that Virgin has right now. So please reach out to me. I'd love to help you. I'd love to talk to you about more. If you have any questions about any of the food, if you want more pictures, more photos, you want more information, please reach out. I think you're going to love this trip. Like, I am stoked and I am pumped because this is such a great experience. And I believe that adults deserve better vacations. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.